My name is Eileen and I want to welcome you all to Virtual STEM Club Littles Edition. This month we are going to be working on a project called Walking Water Rainbow. So you should have already received your Take and Make bag here at the library if you've registered. This is going to have all of the supplies you'll need to work on this project. Now you will need water, and I recommend getting some paper towel from home. So those are the only two things you'll need from home, along with the items in the Take and Make bag. In just a minute, I'm gonna go over what is in the Take and Make bag, and then I'm gonna walk you through setting up the experiment, giving you a few tips and hints on how to work through the experiment, and then you'll be able to play with all of the different colors of the rainbow and create your walking water rainbow. Are you ready? Let's get to it. So I've taken everything that was in my Take and Make bag and I've laid it out here on the table, and I want to just go over what is in your bag to make sure that you've received everything. And if you haven't, make sure to let us know at the library and we'll get you whatever supplies you need. So you should have a little dropper, and mine has a yellow little squishy tab on the top. Yours might be a different color. They come in all sorts of colors. You should also have a little baggie, and this little baggie is going to have 3 little color tablets in it. One is blue looking, one is a little bit yellow looking, and the other is purple looking. And then you're going to have 6 strips of this chromatography paper, and this is just a special kind of paper that we're going to use to soak up some of the colors in our water when we create our colorful watercolors here. And then you're gonna have 6 plastic cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I also have, off to the side here, I have some paper towel, and I also have a jug full of water, because in a minute here, I'm gonna fill the first 3 cups with clear water from the sink. So once you've got all your supplies laid out, we can move on to the next step of setting up our actual experiment. So for the first step in our little walking water experiment, we are going to take 3 of our cups and we're going to fill them with water. So I have just a little bit, about, if I put my finger to the side of the cup, that's about how much of the cup is not filled with water. So fill all the way to the top as high as you can without kind of spilling over. And you want room to kind of stir the water, so that's why I'm saying I kind of put my finger over to the edge here, and that's about how much space I have at the top that's empty. And then I'm going to take my dropper and my 3 tablets. Now these are going to create what they call primary colors. And our primary colors are blue, yellow, and red. Okay? So we're going to take our little baggie here and we're going to open it up, and I am going to put 1 of each of the tablets in 1 of my cups. So the first one, I'm going to put my blue tablet in it, and the second cup, I'm going to put my yellow tablet, and in the third cup, I'm going to put my what looks like purple, but it's actually going to make red. So I'm going to put that in there, and they're going to start fizzing up, and as they fizz up, they're going to dissolve, and then you can stir the water with your dropper. And in between stirring, you're gonna wanna use your paper towel to wipe off the color before you stick it in the next cup of water. So as you can see here, you can see it pretty easily on camera. The first cup that we put our tablet in is the blue one, and that one's already looking really blue. This middle one has the yellow tablet in it, and then this one has the purple tablet, which is gonna turn the water red. So I'm gonna take the first cup here and I'm gonna stir. And it can take up to a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, for the tablet to completely kind of break up and dissolve at the bottom of your cup. You can even kind of hit it with your little dropper here to help it along. So I'm just kind of going to stir and let that break up at the bottom of my cup. And as that one's still working, I'm going to empty my dropper and I'm going to dry it off. And then I'm going to stick it in my yellow cup, and I'm going to stir that as well. And we want to make sure that we dissolve the entire tablet before we move on to the next step in our experiment here. So this part is definitely gonna require some patience because again, it's gonna take a few minutes to really have that entire tablet dissolve. And your water is just gonna become a little bit darker and darker until it's a really vibrant color, blue, yellow, and red. So I am gonna go ahead and give my water tablets just a few minutes to really dissolve in there, and then I'll be back to show you the next few steps of our little experiment here today. Okay, so I am back now, and it did take about 5 minutes for all of my tablets to completely dissolve, and I did have to encourage them or help them with my little dropper tool here. So my red one, the one that I put in last, is actually still a little bit chunky at the bottom, so I'm just going to stir that together. And now what we're going to do is, what I had mentioned before is that these are our primary colors. So blue, yellow, and red are the primary colors. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna make our own secondary colors by mixing these colors together in different combinations. And this is one of my favorite parts of this experiment, is creating our other set of colors. Because a rainbow, if you think about a rainbow has more than just 3 colors normally, right? So we're gonna make those other colors now. So we're gonna take our empty cups and we're gonna set them next to our cups of colored water. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little dropper tool and we're gonna start by creating our first secondary color. Can you try to take a guess? We're gonna make the color orange next. Could you try to take a guess at what 2 colors from over on this side, what 2 primary colors we mix to make the color orange? I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it and see what you think might mix to make orange. Is it blue and yellow? Do you think blue and yellow would make orange? What about red and blue? Do you think that would make orange? Well, if you guessed red and yellow, then you're correct. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you take your little dropper tool and you're gonna stick it in the bottom of your cup, and then you're gonna squeeze the top of your dropper, and then you're gonna stick it into the bottom of your cup, and you're gonna let your dropper fill up. So there, my dropper is full of red water. And I'm gonna pour it into my first empty cup here. And I'm gonna do this a few times so that there's a little bit of water. And we're gonna do just a little bit at a time to start with, and then I'm gonna show you how to make a larger quantity of your colored water. So what we're gonna do is I took 3 droppers there, and now I'm going to take some of my yellow water. And again, we're trying to make orange here. So red and yellow make orange. So as you pour more of the yellow water into your red water, you will see that it starts to become like a red orange, and then the more yellow you put, the more orange it becomes. Do you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, this is exciting. So there we have it. It's really looking orange now. I hope you can see that. Look at that. So we've mixed yellow and red to make orange. Now, for this next color, we are gonna be making green. Now, what 2 colors from this side do you think will mix to make green? Now, we've already mixed red and yellow, so we only have a couple of options left. Do you think that mixing red and blue make green, or yellow and blue? What do you think? If you guessed yellow and blue, then you are right. So what I'm gonna have all of you do is I'm gonna use the blue water since we haven't touched that yet. So I'm gonna take 3 droppers full of my blue water and put it into my middle cup right over here. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now I'm gonna add some yellow, and watch what's gonna happen is it's slowly gonna start, look at that, it's already looking a little bit green. Now it's like a pretty teal, turquoisey color. We're getting closer. every drop of yellow that we add, it looks more and more green. There we have it. So now we have orange and green. And the last color that we are gonna make, the last secondary color we are gonna make is purple, which just happens to be my favorite color. Now, we've already had other combinations to make these colors, so can you take a guess at which two colors we need to mix to make purple? Blue and red, that's right. So we're gonna go ahead and take 3 droppers of our red water and put it into our last empty cup at the end here. So that was 1, 2, 3. And now I'm gonna take 3 of my droppers of blue water. This is exciting. Look at that. It already looks really pretty and purple. How fun. Look at that. Oh my goodness, how exciting. So now we have orange, green, and purple. So on this side, we have our primary colors, which are blue, yellow, and red. And over here, we have our secondary colors, which we get by mixing our primary colors, and we have orange, green, and purple. So you guys have done such a great job with this experiment so far. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna just make more of our orange, green, and purple water. So we're just gonna practice mixing more of our colors. So we're gonna start by mixing more of our orange water, and you can go ahead and take your yellow and your red and mix them together until you have a little bit more. I would say probably twice as much as you have in your cup right now with the 3 droppers. So I'm gonna take 3 more droppers of my yellow. 1, 2, 3, and 3 more droppers of my red. Now, if you find that you need maybe 2 droppers of yellow and 2 droppers of red or something, a different number, then that's fine. That's what experimenting is all about. It's just about playing around and figuring out what works. So there, I'm gonna add a little bit more yellow because I feel like it got too dark. So there we have our orange. And now I'm gonna mix more of the green. So remember, we're gonna use blue and yellow to mix more of our green. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then 3 of my yellow. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Now we want to make more purple, so I'm going to use red and blue. One, 2, 3. Look at that. So now I have blue, yellow, red, orange, green, and purple. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to put our colors in a specific order, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to try to make it so that it goes kind of in the color of the the order of the rainbow. So what I want you to do is we're going to start off with red. So we're going to put our red cup over here. We're going to kind of rearrange these a little bit. So I'm going to do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. How pretty does that look? Oh. And now I'm going to kind of put my cups a little bit closer together than when we were originally mixing our colors, okay? And then what we're going to do is we are going to take our strips of chromatography paper, which is just a fancy kind of paper that's going to kind of soak up the colors in our water here. And this is where we're gonna make our walking water rainbow. And you have one more strip of paper than you actually need. We just gave you an extra one here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to stick each end into a different cup. Okay, so we're gonna stick the first end into the purple, and then I'm gonna stick the other end into the blue, and then it's kind of gonna look like that. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm gonna stick this end in the blue and this one in the green, and hopefully, and you might have to kind of fold it a little bit in the middle to kind of keep it down like that. So that's a good idea. Let's fold that in the middle. So I have one end going into green and one end going into yellow. And then the next one, I have one end going into yellow and one end going into orange. And the last one that I'm gonna do here is one end going into orange and one end going into red. So there we go. Now we have created our walking water rainbow. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna leave this set up overnight, or if you started this in the morning, you can leave it till, maybe the time you have dinner in the evening. But what's gonna happen is your strips of paper are gonna soak up those colors and they're gonna kind of blend together a little bit, hopefully. So you're gonna let your experiment sit and you're gonna see what happens. Now, when you're done with your experiment, you can continue playing with the water and mixing the different colors. Maybe if you have a couple of extra cups at home, you can test to see what happens. Maybe what happens if you mix green and purple or blue and orange. I don't even know what will happen. So hopefully you'll have some fun with this once you've kind of finished off our walking water rainbow experiment. You can continue playing. And I hope you have all sorts of fun with this experiment. I know I did. Color mixing is one of my favorite things to do. And I hope you enjoyed today's experiment. Thank you so much for joining me in today's Virtual STEM Club Littles Edition Walking Water Rainbow. I had so much fun working through the experiment and showing you guys all the tips and tricks I know. So thank you so much. I hope that you'll visit the library to check out some books from our nonfiction collection on more science experiments. And then I hope you look out for our spring calendar, which will have another STEM Club Littles edition on there as well. So join us this spring for more fun in Virtual STEM Club, and I'll see you all again next time.